The richest man in the world, Elon Musk himself, has just secured an awesome deal with NASA. His SpaceX rocket will get to take NASA's new dark matter telescope straight to space. This spectacular launch will take place in 2026, so gear up, everybody. In this video, we're going to talk more about this partnership that just might make history. First off, why is this launch so special? Owing to the flawless first photos of the cosmos transmitted back to Earth, space telescopes are currently all the craze. For decades, that telescope will probably deliver data and images from far space, but the excitement doesn't end there. The Nancy Grace Roman Telescope, NASA's upcoming next-generation space telescope, is scheduled to launch in slightly over 4 years. The iconic telescope is set for an expected launch in Florida in 2026 from NASA's Kennedy Space Center. The impacts of the dark energy and dark matter, about which researchers know almost nothing, will be studied by the powerful telescope, along with exoplanets. Since this mission is presently scheduled to launch in 2026, the deal is regarded as an intermediate and unbounded contract. The rocket company and other project expenses add up to a total launch price for NASA of about $255 million for the Roman telescope. The agenda for the telescope will include specialized studies to address a variety of unanswered cosmological questions. Unfortunately, we're not talking about aliens here. We all want to see extraterrestrials, but don't worry, this is pretty cool too. Although the Falcon Heavy rocket is still relatively new, it has only been launched a few times, most notably in 2018 with a dummy driving a Tesla on board. It appears the government preferred the more gasoline this missile can carry to SpaceX's lightweight Falcon 9 workhorse. Roman will be traveling to the Lagrange 2 orbit, also known as L2, which is located approximately 930,000 miles from our planet. It takes an insane amount of fuel to travel directly to this position, which the James Webb Space Telescope equally uses because it's fairly far from Earth. But what's up with the name? Nancy Grace is a pretty unusual name for a rocket, isn't it? So how did NASA even come up with it? The name is for good reason. It was named after one of their most impressive employees, eventually named in the honor of Dr. Nancy Grace Roman for her incredible work at NASA, which helped lay the foundation for huge space telescopes. The telescope, formerly named the Wide Field Infrared Survey Telescope, was formerly known as the W-FIRST. In the 1960s and 70s, Nancy Grace Roman served as NASA's first director of astronomy and was the organization's first female leader. She was a key player in the Hubble Space Telescope's development. The legendary astronomer had numerous scientific publications, especially one on the basic formation of the galaxy that was listed in the Astrophysical Journal's Top 100 Studies of the 20th Century. Roman established and produced the budgets for a variety of programs throughout her time at NASA and coordinated their scientific involvement. In fact, Roman was the only person accepting or rejecting bids for NASA astronomy programs, depending on how good they were, and her own competence, up to the establishment of peer review, which drew in outside expertise. As per the Annual Review of Astronomy and Physics, Roman spoke in a lecture in 1963, when only men were allowed to join the astronaut corps. She claimed that there will come a time when female astronauts will be very common, just as there are female pilots. And our director wasn't wrong. Today's world has some of the best female astronauts ever. Now, what can we expect from this launch? The enormous rocket hasn't been flown since its third flight, which took place in June 2019. This involved the most complex launch yet, according to the corporation, when it sent a number of Department of Defense satellites into orbit. The rocket has 3 boosters, including a base and 2 side power-ups, which land on Earth and are reused. But the main booster disappeared in each of the first 3 launches. The long-running Hubble Space Telescope's mirror size is shared by Roman. However, it's designed to view fields that are 100 times greater than those of the Hubble. This makes the latest observatory perfect for thorough cosmological surveys. Roman will conduct research into dark energy and dark matter, which are thought to make up a large portion of the universe's structure, while working in infrared light. Using a method known as microlensing, the telescope will look further at exoplanets, looking for minute loops in space-time, brought on by planets orbiting their host stars. Wide-field telescopes will be useful for locating exoplanets that can be seen in higher clarity and that are farther from Earth than whatever the transiting exoplanet survey satellite can detect, according to NASA. Finally, why was SpaceX chosen for this mission? Elon Musk's SpaceX was chosen for this very important mission, but why? NASA has an agreement with SpaceX for the 2024 launches of 2 commercialized replenishment operations to the Gateway, as well as the GOES-U geostationary meteorological satellite from NOAA. Massive geostationary online broadcasting satellites for Viasat and EchoStar will be launched by SpaceX on 2 Falcon Heavy missions later this this year and in 2023, accordingly. And in late 2024, an astrobiotic-led commercial lunar supply mission is planned to deploy NASA's Viper automated rover near the moon aboard the rocket. Our Falcon hasn't soared since June 2019, despite SpaceX having conducted 3 missions to date. 27 Merlin primary engines from 3 interconnected Falcon rocket boosters propel the machine, producing 5.1 million pounds of force at takeoff. A bigger payload fairing is being developed by SpaceX for future missions. The development of the energy propulsion and housing modules for the Gateway Station, as well as some upcoming Space Force missions, will be possible only with the expanded shroud. The Roman telescope, however, can fit within SpaceX's typical Falcon Heavy cargo fairing, according to a NASA official. And now for some other news. First off, we'll talk about how advancements in space technology are enhancing medical care on Earth. Space exploration has a positive impact on millions of people's lives on Earth, from breast cancer therapies to self-driving automobiles and fitness monitors. Scientists praised how the same technology has been applied to advance eye surgery as the James Webb Space Telescope feeds amazing photos back to NASA. It's the most recent illustration of how space science may be applied in all aspects of our lives, particularly to advance healthcare. The Webb Telescope's technological advancements throughout the years have helped millions of people see better by significantly advancing LASIK eye surgery. A tool to accurately measure the naked eye has been created using the same technique that was used by the telescope to measure its strong mirrors, which allowed it to collect light fragments from outer space that were created well over 13 billion years ago. The innovation has been implemented into Johnson & Johnson's Vision Eye Design Refractive Studio, a tool that takes readings to map irregularities in the corneal curvature and visual pathways, acting as sort of an individual optical fingerprint for every eye. Eye specialists in 47 different countries have successfully utilized it in over 18 million surgeries worldwide. Next up is Jodrell Banks's enormous Lovell Radio Telescope's Space Light Show feature. The Lovell Telescope at Jodrell Bank in Cheshire, the largest radio telescope in the UK, is currently being transformed into a light and sound display. The massive radio telescope will be the center of attention at the Blue Dot Festival for the very first time since 2019. Its 249-foot dish will receive images from orbit, including some breathtaking photos taken by NASA's James Webb Space Telescope. The festival was founded by Professor Anderson and her husband, University of Manchester physicist Professor Tim O'Brien, who also used recordings from space to produce an accompanying soundtrack. The soundtrack includes sound clips taken from space, such as the radio telescope's sonification of its own scan of the Milky Way galaxy. Sky's Eye View is the name of the program that they created for the Lovell Telescope. Supermassive black holes across many galaxies, which we had no idea even existed at the time the Lovell Telescope was developed, are among the cosmic objects being studied by the enormous telescope. This sounds so thrilling. Wouldn't we all love to visit a show like that? Before we end, let's look at SpaceX's yearly launch record getting smashed. By successfully launching its 32nd Falcon 9 mission in 2022, SpaceX officially surpassed its previous annual record for orbital launches. Since it's only July, there's still a lot of time in the year to raise that record. Except for a drop in 2019, SpaceX has been steadily increasing its launch frequency each year, with 31 launches in 2021, a record for the business. SpaceX became by far the most prolific American launch provider. As the business improves its rocket landing and reuse techniques, almost all of SpaceX's Falcon 9 rockets that have been fired this year have been previously flown vehicles. Additionally, only the reusability optimized Block 5 Falcon 9 is being used by SpaceX for flight. Today's rocket was the 125th Falcon 9 rocket launched by SpaceX to successfully land after liftoff on one of the company's drone ships. After breaking its previous record, SpaceX is continuously making great progress. Another mission to launch more Starlink satellites is already scheduled to depart from Florida on Sunday, July 24th. And that's a wrap for this video. What do you think about this new mission? Is this going to be a new step for mankind? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.